with all the, chaos that's going on, controlled chaos that's going on over at Warner Brothers right now. The axing of Batgirl, a lot of shows have been axed, stuff like that. They have a vision for what they want. The new ownership has a vision for what they want Warner Brothers to be, and they've begun the process of Terragenesis, Rob. They've begun the process of burning away what it is they don't want and starting to establish what they do. And they took a major step today they've been doing a lot of burning away of what they don't want, but today we saw the first signs of them starting to build about what they do want Warner Brothers to be. As it has been reported that Matt Reeves, director of the Batman, has signed a massive overall deal with Warner Brothers that will see Warner Brothers have a first look deal with him and his production company. And he has signed a massive extension with Warner Brothers Television as well. So while this does not completely prevent Matt Reeves from doing some other pictures with some other studios, if he'd like, for the most part, for the next decade or so, Matt Reeves is going to be making movies over at Warner Brothers. Now, Matt Reeves said this about the deal: "Making this legendary studio my home is a dream. I am so excited to be working with Mike, Pam, and Channing and our team." Now, these are the co-CEOs of the picture group at Warner Brothers, and our teams bringing captivating stories I am truly passionate about to the big and small screen. Now, here's where this gets kind of interesting about like what kind of future and projects and all that kind of stuff. So, I think it's Michael DeLuca, who's the co-chair of Warner Brothers Picture Group. He reports directly to David Zaslav. He made this comment about the deal they just signed with Matt Reeves. And I think this gives us a little bit of a glimpse into the future of Warner Brothers working with Matt Reeves. This is what DeLuca said. "Pam and I," that's his co-chair, "Pam and I gratefully inherited the relationship with Matt from the Batman and through the beginning stages of planning the Penguin series on HBO Max." I know some people were saying they were worried about the Penguin series. Clearly, there's nothing to worry about. "Through the beginning stages of planning the Penguin series for HBO Max. We were excited to nail down this overall deal because it's a cornerstone of what we want to do with the filmmakers that are working at the studio. We want to create an atmosphere where all of these filmmakers can excel and do their work and stay with us once they're inside the Warner family. Keeping Matt," this is where it gets really interesting here, "keeping Matt Reeves and creating a home for him to do more projects in the Batman universe, but also originals, was very important to us. Keeping Matt creating, giving him a home to do more projects in the Batman universe, but also original stuff like that was very important to us." So that again comes to us from the folks over at Slash Film. So, Rob, this is a huge deal. Matt Reeves is one of the most sought after creatives right now in the business. He's decided he wants to lock down at Warner Brothers. The fact that it sounds like they've got bigger plans for this Robert Pattinson Batman universe. The Penguin is probably just going to be the first of the HBO series, I'm guessing, with the extension of the Warner Television contract as well. You hear about this deal? What's your takeaway from it?
I think it's a really good thing. John, Warner Brothers has a long legacy of having filmmaker relationships that last a while. Kubrick was with Warner Brothers from 71 to 99 when Eyes Wide Shut came out. You had people like Clint Eastwood, who's Malpaso, his company's been there for 50 years. You had Richard Donner was based on the Warner lot. Joel Silver as a producer was based on the Warner lot. And I think we haven't seen Warner Brothers pivot this way, certainly not under Kevin Tsujihara. And it's nice to see that Warner Brothers as a studio bringing filmmakers into the fold. It gives them a place to work from. It can solidify their reputations and relationships with people. And I think it's a bold move for the studio, and it's something that really, it needed to happen. They needed to do this. I think it's great all the way around. It's great for Matt Reeves, the guy's an incredibly talented filmmaker.
Absolutely.
Lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah.
Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of this video, MasterClass. All of us here at the John Campea Show absolutely love MasterClass. With MasterClass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn television writing from Shonda Rhimes, improve your comedy skills from Steve Martin, or you can learn filmmaking from James Cameron himself. With over 100 different classes from a range of world-class instructors, that thing you've always wanted to learn is close closer than you think. I have personally watched Bob Iger's lessons on business strategy and leadership at least 6 or 7 times. Every time I watch it, I learn something new that I get to apply to my own business as well. And the best thing about it is you don't have to sit down and watch an entire thing all at once. You can watch the individual segments or just as much as you want in any sitting at a time. So guys, when it comes to MasterClass, I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every MasterClass. And as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off MasterClass.
What do you think, Chris?
I mean, I love that they're giving this auteur, kind of, let's get you in our corral, right? Let's bring you in here because obviously what he did worked.
Yeah.
Right? Matt's vision for Batman was excellent. And I love that the studio is fully backing him. Now, of course, they're doing that because he won, right? He delivered.
Right.
So hopefully the rest of his tenure with Warner Brothers, getting all these first look exclusives and everything, lives up to the expectation. And they continue having a symbiotic relationship where Matt doesn't get stifled creatively. That's my only concern.
And remember, John, Batman's not the first franchise he worked in. What he did with the Apes franchise,
so
incredible. And he's also worked at the cutting edge of effects technology.
Yep.
And so there are very few filmmakers that have his well-rounded understanding of how to make franchise pictures today.
Can we bring up that picture of Matt Reeves again? So I am a little bit confused. I did not know that producer Jonathan Voico, let's bring up Jonathan here for a second. I did not know that producer Jonathan Voico had signed a deal with Warner Brothers. I guess I got to start looking for a new producer.
Can I start pitching?
I don't see the
Is that
resemblance.
okay? Lunch? Jonathan, I got something for you.
Anyway, look, and again, I think, when I kind of draw the comparison to Terra Genesis, right? If you have something you want to build, you first got to sweep the floor. You got to kind of clear things out. And I think, I have been sitting here, the lone man in the desert who has seen the brilliance of what Warner Brothers has been doing. They've been clearing the floor. And I know everybody's been getting upset that they're clearing the floor, but that's what you got to do when you want to build something better. And I think everybody's agreed that Warner Brothers over the last number of years has needed something better. But to everybody's credit, we've only seen them tearing things down. It's easy to cancel things. It's easy to throw things away. The question is, what are you going to build?
Exactly.
And this being their first major move, locking down Matt Reeves to a long-term deal, not just for the Batman universe stuff, but also for his original stuff as well. I think this is a key cornerstone. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's not very big right now on what Warner Brothers has been doing. And I told my friend this, and I stand by it. This is now on video. 2 years from now, this is going to be like when we said that you watch, everybody's going to come around on Ben Affleck as Batman. Or when we said you watch, because everybody does it now. But when they announced Robert Pattinson, Twilight boy, when they announced Robert Pattinson as Batman, everybody poo-pooed on it. We said, you wait, you watch. People are going to come around on it. I'm telling you, 2 years from now, everybody's going to be looking back at the stuff that Warner Brothers is doing today to lay the foundation for what they want this studio to be 2-3 years from now. You watch.
I got a question for you. How long before they announce a deal with James Gunn?
Soon.
I think so too.
Soon. They are. I think James Gunn. I think it'll be immediately after Guardians 3 comes out. I think once Guardians 3 is done and out, they will make. I'll tell you what. I think the deal's already done. But I think they will make the announcement that James Gunn has signed a long-term deal with Warner Brothers as well, probably after Guardians.
And another smart move.
Yeah.
Somebody who's delivered for HBO Max. I mean, even though the Suicide Squad didn't do the business and theatrical that we wanted it to,
Peacemaker certainly did.
But the Suicide Squad movie is really, really good.
It's great.
And he made it under their umbrella. So they were probably extremely happy to work with him both on a television project and a movie project because
that's the difference. See, that's what I think the difference is between the old Warner Brothers and the new Warner Brothers. The old Warner Brothers looks at the box office of Suicide Squad, which, let's call it what it is. It was disappointing. The box office of Suicide Squad was disappointing, but the movie was fantastic. The old Warner Brothers didn't do business. The new Warner Brothers is, you know what? You made good content. Now, whether or not that does business, that's not the director's responsibility. That's on us.
Yep.
That's on us to market it right, to put it in a position to succeed. All we can ask our filmmakers to do is to make great content. And if you make great content, we're in business with you.
And what's really interesting, and somebody's got to write a book or an article on this, Peacemaker following up Suicide Squad seemed at first like, they got stuck doing this show.
It seemed like a bad idea.
It seemed like, that it was going to fail. I mean, it might have been good in the initial stages before Suicide Squad had come out, but that was a win, man. That was a win that people probably thought, that's not, what are we going to do with this Peacemaker show that follows a failed box office film?
Dude, I'll call myself on it. I was iffy.
Me too.
I was very iffy on it. The first trailer for Peacemaker came out. I'm like, that doesn't look very good. But look at what it turned into be.
You know who wasn't iffy on it? HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max.
They knew.
And it looks like, we've heard recently about James Gunn is making, we've already heard the Warner Brothers people saying we've got a lot of plans with James Gunn. So we'll see that. So they locked down guys like Gunn, Reeves. Let's see what's coming down the future. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Matt Reeves signing a big overall deal with Warner Brothers. They specifically call out future Batman projects that they're going to be doing with him. Clearly, they got to learn to plan for this. What do you think about it? Whatever the thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there.